Cal, you supposed to bob and weave, boy. Bob and weave. We were rooting for you. What's up, y'all? It's your girl P Hope, and I am back with another Love After Lockup review. I truly apologize from the bottom of my heart for the last 2 weeks of not having a review for you guys. If you watched my plus size try on haul, a little short little plug, if you are interested in plus size try on hauls, I just recently did one, so click on my channel and check that out. But anyway, if you did happen to look at that video, then you already know what's going on with me. But I did not give you guys a video for the last 2 weeks because I actually have COVID. I think I am negative at this point. I do not go get my next COVID test until Tuesday, this Tuesday coming up. But as you can see, I still have the dry cough. I still get shortness of breath, and that's pretty much all the symptoms that I have left. And I also got pneumonia with it, so but I came out a lot better than most, and I'm still gonna do a video. I'm gonna do a story time on my COVID experience because I know people always have questions because COVID affects everybody differently. So I am gonna do a separate video about my COVID experience. But yeah, if you want to know where I've been the last 2 weeks, I've been right here in the house quarantining, looking crazy. Okay, so I was doing way too much coughing, and I was way too weak to give you guys a review for the last 2 Fridays. So but I'm feeling okay now. This review is probably not gonna be the, you know, regular energy that I normally give y'all for the reviews, but I'm like I'm like, this is the finale. Like, I gotta come through for the P Hope family. Like, I can't keep dropping the ball like this. I am most likely going to break this review down since it was a 2-hour finale. Y'all know I'm long-winded as hell. So 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna end up breaking this review down into 2 separate videos. So part 1, I'm going to do, hold on y'all, because I wrote it down on my notes. Part 1 will be Anissa and Jeff, Brittany and Ray, and Doug and Rachel. So that'll be part 1. And then part 2, we'll do Stan and Lisa, Deontay, Nicole, and Courtney and Josh. Okay, the struggle with Anissa and Jeff. So let me go to my notes to see how it started off, because I don't even really remember how they ass started off. Oh yeah. So Jeff is pretty much running around the house feeling some type of way because he said Anissa has been acting funny. She ain't been laughing at his jokes. She, you know, she just not acting like she used to act when he was over at the halfway house and when he was locked up. So he knows that something is pretty much up with her, okay? And he said that every time he go over by the dresser, she always want to know, like, you know what I'm saying, what do you need out of that dresser? Like what do you need? So he is he's sitting in the living room. I guess he charging up, you know, he powering up his ankle monitor or whatnot, and he wanted to get on the laptop. And so he's trying to put the password in, and that shit is not going through. So he tried a couple of different times, and he said, okay, well, at this point, like, I know for a fact I'm putting in the right password and it's just not going through. So at this point, she's hiding something. Now, I didn't get that impression when he could not get the password to go in. What I got was Anissa is being petty. So what you not gonna do is sit around on social media and talk to other bitches on my time. That's not what you about to do. You're not about to talk to your baby mama and anybody else that you want to talk to while I'm outside of the house. So guess what you'll do? You'll be like a little child. You'll have electronic playtime when I get home so that I can monitor what the hell you doing on the electronics, because obviously your ass don't know how to act. because obviously when I leave you to your own devices, you out here making kids. So that's why I feel like that's why I feel like Anissa locked him out of the laptop. That, and on top of the fact that, you know, he's just out here spending up all the money. Because it was one clip where Anissa and Patty went floral shopping, and she said, okay, well, we just getting a couple $100 worth of flowers because Jeff done pretty much, you know, sucked up all my money at this point anyway. And Patty was like, well, how much has he spent since he been home? And she said, I don't know, somewhere around $9,000. Listen here, I don't know how long Jeff been home, but I know it ain't been that long. It sure ain't been long enough for him to spend on $9,000 and he ain't got nowhere to go. And you still ain't got them teeth fixed, and you still ain't got them Gucci pants. I said, you know what? I don't have time for Jeff. But anyway, he was, like I said, he's at home feeling some type of way because he locked out of the laptop. So he said that he feel like Anissa is up to something. So, you know, this forbidden drawer that she don't want him to go in. So he just, at this point, he ready to Hulk smash the whole dresser drawer until he finds something. He like, I don't know what I'm looking for, but I know I'm looking for something. So he finally go in this little side drawer and he found a damn cell phone. He sits down, goes through the cell phone, and what he ends up finding was some photos of Anissa in like some, it looked like she was in some panty and bra set, you know what I'm saying? He's saying this lingerie, and she's sending sexy pictures to other inmates. And I said, oh, well, Miss Anissa is not so innocent after all. So anyway, he said he found that out, but that does not bother him as much as the fact of he wants to know what the hell Anissa and Kyle got going on. He said that the friendship between Anissa and Kyle is a little bit too much for him. You know, he always feels like Kyle is doing a little bit too much. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, when Kyle got all into the business last week or week before, I don't remember which one it was, asking that man how much that drone cost and how much he been spending because he see all them boxes on the front porch. Kyle, you overstepped your boundaries. Let me just tell you that right there. I was on Jeff's side with that, because at the end of the day, if my girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, significant other is allowing me to do this, it's not like I'm hiding this merchandise from my person. It's not like, you know, you can't look on your credit card statements or your bank statements and see what I'm spending. It's your debit card, it's your credit card. So, you know, I'm not hiding anything. So obviously, if the person is letting me do it, then why are you so concerned about it? So anyway, fast forwarding, Anissa brings her ass home. She comes and sits down in the living room, and she grabbed her phone and she just started, you know, surfing through her phone. So at this point, Jeff is standing off in the kitchen and just kind of staring a hole through her. And he's like, baby, what's wrong with you? And she looked over at him and she said nothing. And then she went right back to playing in her phone. And he was like, yeah, something is up with you and I need to know what it is. And she said nothing. And at that point, on that second nothing, Jeff had just about a damn enough. He said, if you don't tell me what's going on with you, I'm about to cut this ankle monitor off and I'm finna go and I'm never coming back. And that was all it took for Anissa to break her silence. And she said, well, don't you think it would have been nice to tell me that you got a child out here in the world? And he said, well, who told you that? She said, Kyle. Kyle told me that. And I was like, Lord have mercy. First of all, Anissa just threw her BFF all up under the bus. Like, everybody knows that the code is wherever you got your source from, if it's your good friend, you don't just throw them out there like that. You at least gotta make up something first, like, you know, that was word on the curb. You know, Lucy Mae from down the street had already said something to me about it, and then Kyle turned around and said something else to me about it. So at this point, that's the second or third person that done said something. So I'm just trying to see what's up. Like, she just went and threw Kyle ass straight up under the bus, and she, you know, she ain't bite her tongue. And so at this point, Jeff is like, wow, I cannot believe this bitch of a bitch sat there and told my business like that. And as soon as she spilled the beans, she also let him know, well, you know, Kyle and his girlfriend about to pull up in a minute. They was coming over to visit. So he look out the window and he see their ass pulling up, and he said, oh, I'll be damned if he come in this trailer. He won't be in this trailer today. So Jeff took his ass outside and he immediately started going off on Kyle. He started calling Kyle every white piece of trash, every bitch, every punk, every name that he could come up with. That's what Kyle ass was at that moment. And he just kept trying to get Kyle to get out that truck so he could whoop his ass. Get your ass out, because you was a rat, you was a snitch, and I knew you was a bitch. So get on out and take this whooping like a man. Now at this point, they got some little old ass piece of production man trying to hold Jeff big ass back. And he was doing a good job until, I don't remember what it was that Jeff said, but it set Kyle off. Kyle said, you know what, fuck it, I'm done with this shit. Kyle opened that damn passenger side door. He got out and he said, oh, you want to whoop my ass? What the hell you waiting on? You goddamn whooper, bro? And Jeff said, oh, not today. I'm finna take my motherfucking right hand out of neutral today. And he got away from that damn man so quick. He got away from that man so quick. I said, that let you know right there that that man didn't ever have a hold of Jeff in the first place. Jeff was just making that man feel like, okay, bro, you know what I'm saying, I'm listening to you, I got you, I'm good, I'm calm. Baby, soon as Kyle jumped his ass out of his girlfriend's truck, Jeff was on his ass like sugar on cornflakes, because he ran up on that man and he knocked his ass about 3 times in the face. He said, wow, wow, wow. I said, Kyle, no. You can't go out like that, because on that third knock, Kyle ass hit the ground. Kyle ass hit the gravel. And I said, well, damn, it's over. It's over, y'all. Let's just, you know what I'm saying. But y'all got to remember, first of all, Jeff, it was a hardcore inmate. That's number one. So he's used to protecting himself and taking up for himself. That's number one. Number two, the man was a drug addict. And if we don't know nothing else about a drug addict, we know that them bitches is strong. I don't care if it's a man, woman, cat, or dog. Drug addicts are strong people. So, like, we all knew that Kyle really didn't have a chance in hell in winning. But that wasn't the point. We was just rooting for him because he really do be going hard for Anissa. And then, speaking of her, they go back and pan her in the house, and all she concerned about is the neighbors calling the police. They're out there acting a fool. The neighbors are gonna call the police. I don't want anything to do with either one of them. They're both just gonna have to stay out there and work it out. And I said, Anissa, you started it. How you ain't gonna go out there and diffuse the situation, and you started it? Now, granted, Kyle didn't have no business running his mouth. I give you that. He didn't have no business running his mouth. And if you gonna talk shit, you do need to be able to back it up. I'll give you all that. But you still should have took your bony ass out there and at least told Kyle to get in his truck and go on back to the house. And you should have told Jeff to calm his ass down. Now, you could have at least went out there and did that. But you ain't do none of that. So, I kind of blame you for everything that happened too. And if Kyle don't talk to your ass no more, then I don't blame him. So, after the whole fiasco went down and after Kyle done got his ass beat, Jeff went in the house. He goes in the house. He sits down directly in front of Anissa and he tells her the full story about the child. And so after he explained the whole child situation, the only thing he really wanted to know from Anissa is, you know, how do you look at me now? Where are we going from here? And Anissa said, well, you know, I really don't know if I could trust you at this point. You know, you didn't feel it important to tell me that you had a child, so ain't no telling what else you're sitting up here hiding from me. So, you know, I really don't know how to feel about you at this point. And then she said in her confessional, she don't know if she's going to get that dream wedding that she's always been thinking of, because she don't really know the man that's living under her roof. So, you know, she is just really heartbroken at Jeff. And let me tell y'all, Anissa said something in her confessional that really like made the light bulb come on in my head. She said that she grew up in a household to where when things happen, you just sweep them under the rug. So from just her making that little statement, on top of how many times she's put up with Jeff standing her up, you know, choosing drugs and other women over her, and now she's still spending all this money on him, letting him run her completely over. Like, I would love to get more background on Anissa. I would love to know like some of her upbringing and just kind of pick her brain a little bit, because y'all, I feel like Anissa really been through some stuff. Just from her making that comment, and then from everything that she put up with dealing with Jeff ass, something ain't all the way clicking with Miss Anissa. And this is an older lady, so this lady done seen some stuff and been through some stuff. And I wouldn't mind figuring out what that is. But hell, a lot of people on this particular cast, they're a different breed. They're a different breed. So we're just gonna move on. Okay, y'all. Brittany and Ray. So we're picking up from last week where Ray's family had just got done visiting him. And, you know, all of Ray's family wanted to know where the hell Brittany's family was at. And Brittany was like, oh, well, I didn't want to do too much. I didn't want to have too many of y'all surrounding Ray and, you know, questioning him and doing all of that at one time. So we'll meet my family later, da-da-da-da-da. Ray wasn't going for the bullshit. And so after the family left, he had already told Brittany, look, if you don't get your family on the line right now and tell them about me, then I don't know where this relationship is going to go, because I don't really know if you taking me serious or not, because it really seems like you're hiding me. So, you know, Brittany had ended up getting on the phone, talking to her dad, and she told her dad that, you know, she wanted him to come over so that they can catch up on some things and, you know, just kind of get an update on life. Daddy said fine. So when it was time for Daddy to come over the next day, it ended up being him and Brittany's half-sister. I forget the half-sister's name, but anyway, the daddy and the sister pulled up. So Brittany meets them out in the driveway, and she's like, okay, well, you know, I just wanted to let you guys know that, you know, Ray's home. You know, I've been telling you guys about my lovely man, Ray. He's home now, and he's actually in the house. He's visiting. And I looked at her and I'm like, wow, like you're really going to carry on with these lies. Like he's visiting. So anyway, she said he was visiting and she wanted to know with her dad, just please come in and meet Ray. And daddy was like, you know, yeah, fine. I mean, hell, I'll meet him. So they go in, they get seated, and Ray, you know, he shook both of their hands, and I think he gave the sorry y'all, I think he gave the half sister a hug or whatever. And they sit down and they're talking, but it seemed like the daddy and the sister were kind of just grilling the fuck out of Ray, and he was taking it well, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's pretty much because of how Brittany had prepped him for the most part. And even if it wasn't for her prepping, the way that she was telling him, oh, well, I think you need to put some pants on, and then whatever he picked out, because I think he had initially put on something that was dark, it was black. She like, oh, well, now let's find you something with some color in it. Like, girl, if you are in your 30s and you got to do all of this for your people to accept the person that you're in a relationship with, you need to reevaluate your relationship with your parents. And that's just keeping it real. I understand that you have been through something in the past, you know, something tragic, tumultuous, if you will, and your parents had to be there for you. I get all of that, but at some point when you are a certain age, you have to clip your wings from your family and just love who it is that you love. So just because we are on the outside looking in, and we might judge you and say, you know, why the hell would you need an inmate? And your parents sorry, your parents might even be saying the same thing, like, you know, why the hell does our smart daughter, our successful daughter need a need an inmate? Why would you get involved with an inmate? So, you know, it does look some type of way, but at the end of the day, if that's who you choose to be with, do you. So when Ray had them shorts and that t-shirt on, if that's how he wanted to meet your daddy, you should have let him do that, because you're putting Ray in a position to where you're sonning him, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I didn't like the way that none of that went. But anyway, so they're having the conversation on the sofa, and the daddy I feel like is pretty much, he's not welcoming Ray with open arms, but he is open. Okay, the daddy is open. The sister is a little more iffy about the situation, and I still understand where she's coming from, because she feel like the last guy that wrecked Brittany's life was carrying himself the same way that Ray carries himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you made everything look good, like it was glitter, like it was gold, but then you ended up destroying her life. So I'm not about to make myself look crazy for a second time. You gonna have to show and prove before I can just really accept you with open arms. So I understood where they was coming from, even though, like, I still kind of felt bad for Ray. You know what I'm saying? But that was pretty much how that went. Ray didn't really say how he felt about the family after they left, which I'm pretty sure he ain't I'm pretty sure he wasn't like over the moon about them, because they pretty much grilled the hell out of him. But he answered the questions the best that he knew how. Then it fast forwarded to a scene where he finally got his ankle monitor off, and him and Brittany went on a date, and Brittany let him drive the wheel. So I don't know if Ray has his license or not, like, but I'm like, all right, whatever, do y'all. So anyway, they sitting down at the restaurant, and Brittany just talking about, well, you know, you're technically a free man at this point, so you know, you're gonna have to get you a job. And he's like, yeah, you know, I'm definitely ready to get a job. She's talking about her biological clock ticking, so she want to have a baby within the next year. And he wasn't really tripping off of that so much, but when it came to the subject of marriage, he said that he wanted to wait another 2 or 3 years before he got married. And she was like, you know, well, that's not the tune that you was talking when you was locked up, so, you know, don't play on my time. And so Ray was just kind of looking like, well, you know, I'm just saying, like, I just don't feel like it's no need to rush all that. And he was like, so what if we just be engaged? And she was like, well, yeah, we can be engaged for about a year or whatever, because I need you to be well established at your job so that you can buy me a big old solid rock. And, you know, she want this extravagant fat ring. And child, Brittany is living in La La Land, but she happy with her man. No tea, no shade. Please drop down in the comment section if you thought what I'm thinking. Is it me, or does Ray have a feminine walk? Does Ray give y'all feminine tease? I'm not trying to say that nothing happened to Ray while he was locked up. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is Ray is different. Ray is different, and Ray has a very feminine walk to me. So if I'm not the only one that caught that, can y'all please, even if you don't really want to just chime in on it, just put the little walking man in the comment section down below if you notice that, and I'm gonna know exactly what you're talking about. Y'all, all right. See, at this point, y'all got me being shady and messy, so I'm gonna move on to the next couple. I was so busy being messy that I have forgot to tell y'all that Brittany did tell her dad and her half-sister that Ray is living there. And she also wanted her dad to just kind of relay that information over to her mom. But the daddy said that he is going to leave that up to Brittany to do that on her own time. But yeah, so she lied to him in the driveway, but then she did end up telling the truth once he got in the house. Doug and Rachel, okay? Y'all, Rachel is doing a vlog, and she is vlogging herself throwing her wedding ring out into the front yard. She said that she is absolutely positively done with Doug ass, because some girl had inboxed her on Facebook and told her that Doug and his homeboy, I believe it was, had just left offering over her house. Doug had some girl with him, and she said that that, you know, Doug was definitely with this girl, and that he is not welcome back to her house, and she hopes that Rachel takes the necessary steps that she needs to take to leave Doug dog ass alone. Okay, so that night when Doug brought his ass home, she confronted him about the shit, and in true cheater fashion, Doug got mad. He said that that was not his girl that he was at that house with. He said that that was his homeboy's friend. He didn't have nothing to do with that girl. But it upset him to the point where he went in the kitchen and punched the motherfucking cabinet doors off the hinges. Now, Rachel said he punched holes in it, and so I guess that just led her to take the doors down. And then Doug had a nerve to tell her that, you know, you ought to be lucky that I love you so much that I punched a hole through these cabinet doors instead of punching a hole through your face. After all of that went on, Rachel's mom comes over. You know, Rachel is scrubbing toilets, cleaning the kitchen. Rachel is doing everything up under the sun to keep herself busy, because every time she thinks about what happens, she just, you know, she kind of blanks out. because she said she never thought in a million years that she would become a statistic. Now, Rachel, why the hell you thought you would not become a statistic? I don't know. You're dealing with a professional con man. So why you thought you wouldn't get conned, I don't know. But anyway, so every time she sits still and thinks about it, she just kind of, you know, she kind of blanks out. That's when she just kind of goes numb and just, you know, y'all know how it is. If you ever been cheated on, or, you know, just in a situation where something caught your ass off guard, like, you feel stupid, and it's just a feeling that nobody can help you get over. Like, nothing is gonna help you get over that shit but time, or aka another person. That's the only two things that's gonna help you, you know, feel any better about that type of situation. So anyway, her mama like, look baby, you know, quit scrubbing the toilets, come on out of there, give mama a hug, let's talk about it. So then they go off in the kitchen. She can't sit still, so she started cleaning up the kitchen. She's so frustrated, irritated, and aggravated with the situation that this bitch grabbed the bologna out the refrigerator and stuck it up in the cabinet. And that's when her mama knew that she had clicked out. She said, baby, let's go out here on the back porch and have a cigarette. And she said, why? She said, because you just put bologna in the kitchen cabinet. And then she opened up the cabinet and showed her that she put the bologna up there. And Rachel said, oh, I did that? And then she looked at that bologna and she slung that shit. She said, I hate bologna. And that told me everything that I needed to hear, because that let me know that you broke your neck to do all kind of weird, freaky, nasty shit with that bologna, because you thought you was doing all that weird, freaky, nasty shit with your husband, not knowing that your husband was out here dicking somebody else down the whole time. Dicking a girl down that he met before you. And I said, well, damn. So then she walked through the house right quick before they had went out there on the back porch. She walked through the house. All Doug shit was gone. But y'all, all little Dougie shit was gone too. And it took me out. I said, no. He did not drag little Dougie with him. And she said, yes, he did. Little Dougie took everything from his clothes to his games. The room was just empty. And Rachel said she never just pictured herself in that situation. She thought that she had her happily ever after. She had the man, she had the child, she had the house, the picket fence, and the dog. But again, the real dog was the one that slept in the bed with her every night. So I don't really know. But anyway, so she went out there smoking cigarettes. That was another thing I never knew about Rachel, is that she was a damn cigarette smoker. But, you know, I'm not judging. So she out there smoking her cigarette, and, you know, she just pretty much telling her mama that she's absolutely done with the situation. She said her and Doug, yes, they were legally married, but he does not have access to any of her banking accounts. He does not have access to any of her money, and that was a huge relief for her mama. And she was like, yeah, no, he don't have access to none of that. The only thing he had access to was breaking my heart, and he did that successfully. So, you know, it is what it is. But she did say that if, you know, if there was some kind of way for Dougie to come back in the home with her, she would love to have him back. And I said, okay, well, that's very big of you. And that let me know that, you know, she does really have genuine love for little Dougie, and she knows that if that little boy go back to that situation that he came out of, he is doomed. He is doomed. Okay, Rachel know that. So I think that was pretty much it for Doug and Rachel. Now, yeah, it was one part in her little confessionals where she was talking about you know, she can't believe that she's back in this situation, and you know, she's looking around and she's in the home by herself. But y'all, Rachel has a teenage son of her own, I believe. I might have the age range wrong, but I know for a fact that Rachel has her own children. So again, just like I would like to know about Anissa, I would like to know a little bit more about Rachel, where if you have your own biological child, why, if you know what I'm saying, you missing Dougie so much, why can't your own biological child come live with you? I want to know what's going on with that. Okay, y'all, so let me give y'all the ending credits for Anissa and Jeff, Brittany and Ray, and Doug and Rachel. So what it say? Oh, for them, it said that Jeff went back to the halfway house for violating his parole, but Anissa still wants to marry him. For Brittany and Ray, it says Brittany is still waiting on Ray to propose, but he did get a job. He got his ass a job. And then for Doug and Rachel, it says that, let's see, Rachel is still married to Doug, but Doug got arrested for violating his parole. But she does have little Doug Jr. back staying with her, pretty much. So that's the update that it gave at the end of the episode for those three couples. And if y'all really care about like the behind the scenes stuff and all the stuff that goes on outside of the show, another good channel for these Love After Lockup updates would be a channel called According to Amber. If you go over to According to Amber's channel, she keeps up with all of them people. So she has all of the updated stories on Deontay, all of the people from this season, all the people from the past season. Anytime any of these cast members do anything that's gonna put them in the spotlight, Amber really does her research, and child, she puts it out there on her channel. So shout out to According to Amber. Me personally, I don't care about these people that much, but you know, it is entertaining to go over to her channel and look at some of the updated news from time to time about these people. So if you're interested in something like that, then definitely check out According to Amber. And I am going to close this part of the review out, and then I will see y'all over on part 2.